I'm Christina Awayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories. A picture of Barack Obama dressed in full Islamic clothing as he hosted the Muslim Brotherhood is listed on the major events timeline at the White House. The description reads, Muslim Brotherhood visit. Obama hosts members of the Muslim Brotherhood, a group that promotes Islamist extremism and has ties to Hamas. It goes on to say the Muslim Brotherhood is a designated terrorist organization by nearly a dozen nations, including countries like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. Critics at the time, 2012, warned that Obama's outreach risked legitimizing an organization with deep roots in radical ideology, including ties to Hamas and advocacy for Sharia law. Others reiterated the accusations that Obama is a Muslim and part of the Muslim Brotherhood who allowed an increase of 2 million Muslims via migration and births during his time in the presidency. A resurfaced clip is now making its rounds of a 2008 interview clip of then-Senator Barack Obama saying, quote, "My Muslim faith," before being corrected by the reporter to Christian faith, leading to Obama correcting himself.
What I was suggesting, you're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that that has not
Christian
come.
Also on the timeline is the Clinton scandal, Bill with Monica Lewinsky, the cocaine discovery with accusations surrounding Hunter Biden, and the Trans Day of Visibility, when the Biden-Harris administration invited transgenders to the White House who went topless on the South Lawn. Governor Gavin Newsom gave out more than 62,000 CDLs to undocumented migrants, including illegal migrants that don't speak or read English, directly contributing to fatal crashes involving semi-trucks. A recent U.S. Department of Transportation audit examined California's CDL program and identified, quote, systemic policy and programming errors in issuing and maintaining licenses for non-domiciled, non-citizen drivers. The audit found more than 25% of sampled non-domiciled CDLs in California were issued or renewed incorrectly, including to drivers who were illegal or ineligible. Federal regulations require drivers to prove they are in the country legally, are proficient in English, and have licenses that expire when their immigration status does. An emergency rule issued September 26 restricted the CDLs to specific employment-based visas and required states to stop issuing non-domiciled CDLs, audit existing licenses, and revoke non-compliant ones within 30 days or face funding cuts up to $160 million. California was warned but continued to ignore federal mandates per the DOT. California is the only state cited for not enforcing federal English requirements during CDL exams or renewals, despite the California Highway Patrol inspections. The audit links California's refusal to meet federal requirements to at least 2 high-profile crashes involving non-domiciled CDL holders who entered the U.S. illegally. First, the Florida Turnpike crash on August 12th. Harjinder Singh, a migrant from India who crossed the Mexican border illegally in 2018. He made an illegal U-turn on I-95, crushing a minivan and killing 3, ages 30, 37, and 54. He was arrested for vehicular homicide. He was issued a CDL by California in 2023. The White House blamed sanctuary policies. Ontario, California, freeway crash number 2 that happened on October 21st. Jashanpreet Singh, a 21-year-old Indian national who entered illegally in 2022 and was released into the country by the Biden administration. While allegedly under the influence, he plowed into traffic on I-10 without braking, killing 3 and injuring 4. His truck burst into flames. His initial restricted CDL was issued June 27th and was upgraded to full privileges on October 15th, 11 days after the federal rule and 6 days before the crash. The DOT report states this would have never happened if California complied, calling it a direct result of ignoring the order. Singh faces manslaughter and DUI charges. The Department of Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy saying, quote, California broke the law and now 3 people are dead. There will be consequences. And real quick, I want to remind you that Medicare costs are set to go up next year. So if you want to save more than $1,000 a year, listen up. Because not only will you be paying more for your deductible and premiums, but some Medicare Advantage plans are disappearing altogether. It can be confusing with so many different plans and options, but I got a quick and easy solution for you. Chapter. I've partnered with Chapter because I believe in what they are doing. They want to help and they'll do it for free. Just call the number on your screen or go to askchapter.org/Christina. It'll take 20 minutes and they'll do all the work. Give them a call. It'll be well worth your time. Chapter. Well, here's a list of some of Barack Obama's accomplishments during his 8 years in office. Obama was the first president to oversee the loss of 250,000 manufacturing plants in his 8 years in presidency, to preside over a cut to the credit rating of the United States, to be accused of violating the War Powers Act, to be held in contempt of court for illegally obstructing oil drilling in the Gulf of Mexico, to require all Americans to purchase a product from a third party, the Affordable Care Act, which was classified as a tax by the Supreme Court. He was the first to implement a law explicitly rejected by Congress, which is DACA, to try to enact a secret amnesty program that would stop the deportation of 5 million illegal migrants. It was blocked by the courts. To demand a company to hand over $20 billion to one of his political appointees, to tell a CEO of a major corporation, Chrysler, to resign, to revoke an existing coal permit that had been properly issued, to fire an inspector general of AmeriCorps for catching one of his friends in a corruption case, to win a Nobel Peace Prize for, well, it was awarded in 2009 for efforts to strengthen international diplomacy. Critics called it premature. To recite the Quran and say the Islamic call to worship was one of the sweetest sounds on earth. Governor Gavin Newsom has quietly signed a bill allowing California utility companies to take taxpayer dollars from the state wildfire fund to pay their liability for fires that they started. At least one utility company is Gavin Newsom's donor. California saw at least 237 utility equipment ignitions, with 135 of those ignitions tied to Southern California Edison. Governor Gavin Newsom signed Senate Bill 254, quietly expanding the state's $21 billion wildfire fund to help major utility companies from massive fire-related liabilities, all while shifting the cost back onto California taxpayers and ratepayers. The legislation, which took effect immediately as an urgency statute, creates a new wildfire fund continuation account worth up to $9 billion in bonds. This allows investor-owned utilities like Southern California Edison, Pacific Gas and Electric, and San Diego Gas and Electric to tap into public money for damages, fines, and settlements tied to wildfires that they ignite. This comes as energy bills skyrocket and Newsom aggressively pushes green mandates. At the center of the issue is the Eaton fire, a fire sparked beneath an SCE transmission line in Altadena. The blaze burned 9,400 homes and structures, killed at least 19 people, and racked up $45 billion in damages. Insured losses alone hitting $13.7 billion to $22.8 billion. Under SB 254's fine print, added just days before the legislative session ended, SCE can now bill customers for any Eaton cost that exceed the fund's cap. Newsom touted the bill during a signing ceremony at the California Academy of Sciences as a way to, quote-unquote, cut utility bills and promote smart public policy. But critics say that's false. That's what you need to know. In Dallas, Christina Awile.